glad you guys could make it today. So it's starting to get onto awards season, and so we're going to talk a little bit about why and how you should submit for an award. So the first slide to look at is find your why. Why do people want to do awards, or why do they apply for awards, or why are awards even given out? Slide. So first, why even try? This picture shows we're not Prince. We're too, some people might think that we're too small, that we're never going to be able to compete with all the big organizations out there. So you do all this work and you never get a return. That you have to belong to the organization in order to win the award. It's too difficult to get all the items needed for the application. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we continue on, because there is a lot involved when you are submitting these award packets. And what good does it do anyway? Even if you do get the award, what does that really mean? How does that really help you? Slide. But in general, it's good to be recognized. So again, if you put yourself out for these awards, it gets your projects and these ideas out to a wider audience. It's great to do things in your community that your community knows about, but why not go for an award and have someone statewide or even nationally know what you're doing, and maybe you can gain a connection there and work on the next project to be a collaboration between two organizations. Again, it's good to include that you've won awards in for your future grants or funding, because that shows that you're successful. And so these awards add up to moving you forward to getting awards the next time and to getting grants and funding as well. Some of them, AAM has some monetary amounts that are awarded with them. It's $1,000 for a few of them, but so you could get money from getting this award. And again, we all need a pat on the back for a job well done at times. You get into constantly just doing your daily job and you forget how awesome you really are. It's kind of to look back as well and to see what you've really accomplished. So the other fun thing is that you can nominate yourself or others, especially if you nominate others. That kind of gives you a little bragging rights to hold over their head for a little bit, going, I nominated you for that award and you got the award. So. But anyway, but awards are good to be recognized. Slide. So basically in this presentation, we're going to go over the basics of awards. I think a lot of people are afraid to put in because it seems like it's a lot of time for little return, and most of the things that you are supposed to put in the award packet, you don't have or you can't get back because it's been a year since you've done the project. So we're going to talk a little bit about award basics and how you can get those packets going early on. Slide. So basically the basics of award, each organization and each award has different requirements. We're going to go over the basics that all awards pretty much have, but just make sure you research before you apply to make sure that you qualify. So read through all of the award information, make sure that your organization qualifies, make sure the project qualifies, and that you have all kind of your check boxes checked off. Read the application and verify that you have the items required to submit. Believe me, these are a lot to look through, and I know it's a big task, but it's well worth it in the end. And everyone that I have applied for or looked at, they always have a contact. So contact the organization if you have questions or issues. If there's something that you want to submit, but you're not sure if it will work or not, give them a call. They're more than happy to contact you and to talk with you. I know AASLH has a regional person that you can talk with about your award packets, and they really want to help you succeed. So they're there to help you guys make the best showing for these awards. Slide. And again, the biggest thing is how do I get all these items required? So in the beginning, when you even start your project, think about what you're trying to accomplish. And it may sound a little forward thinking, but what kind of award you might apply for with this project. Make every project have award information within the project. Collect these items as you go. Don't wait for the last minute like Joey here and like me. So I'm speaking from experience. Don't wait till the last minute. collect these things as you're doing your project. As you're putting things together, as you're talking to people, make notes, collect photos, collect information, make it all a part. So at the end of the project, when you're reporting to your granting or your funders, you're also basically, those reports will be going into your award project or your award packet to go forward. And that'll make it a lot less stressful when you go for these awards. So slide. So where can you get these required items? Well, a lot of them will come from your grant proposals and your paperwork. A lot of the review things that you'll need to turn in for your granting items will be required for your award packet. The budget, you have to do a budget for your project, so you have to hand in a budget for the award packet. The marketing materials, save something back from all of your marketing materials so that you can put that into the awards packet. Any floor plans that you have that you're working on, and then any evaluations and reviews. That's a huge part of awards as well, is they want to know the impact that your project had on your community, on your institution, and it's the same information that you're turning in for your grant and your funding reviews as well. So you basically have everything you need to do these awards when you're reporting for your grants. And even if you're doing these projects without grant funding and without help from outside, these are good things to keep in mind as you're doing the project anyway, because when you get ready to do the next project, you already have stuff to look back on. So slide. So again, what to include. I reviewed AASLH, a few of their awards. I reviewed the Museums Alaska awards, and then I also went in and reviewed some of the American Alliance of Museums awards. And these are the basics that we're going to talk about in the next few slides about what to include, pretty much across the board. And then each one individually, you'll have to see what more additional things you would have to include in each one. So slide. So the main thing and the first thing that they always want is a narrative. And that basically is introducing your institution and your mission to the reviewers. You want to introduce your project, what it was, why it was important. You want to state your goals and objectives for the project. You want to discuss how the project or achievement has supported your institution, and then how the project was important to your mission, your institution, and your community. And again, with these narratives, each award will have varying information they want included in it, but these are the basic points. The other thing that you want to make sure is that you know the lengths of the narrative that they want. Again, depending on how many applications they get, they may not want a 5-page synopsis on everything that you've done in your institution from the beginning of time to now. So again, just review what they want in their narrative, but these are the main points. Slide. Letters of critical review. Basically, with AASLH, I believe they want these. AAM, I believe, wants these as well. And these are people who have not been integral or a major part of the project. They want kind of an outside review of your project. And the two main things they're looking at, the reviewer on the scholarship of the project and a reviewer on the outcome and effect of the project. So you want to find two people, one that would focus on the scholarship of the event and the program that you did, and then the other person would just focus on the outcomes and the effects. Those can be people from your local university or even the state university. Maybe you could get someone from there. Organizations that you belong to, you can maybe get a reviewer from them to talk about these two parts of your project. So again, they just want someone outside talking about the project so they have another view of what you've done and what you've accomplished and how much this has impacted. And just remember that with the reviewers that you choose, you want to include their resume or CV of the reviewers so that it gives credence and credibility to what they're saying and what they're doing for your award application. All right, slide. Evaluation. We all love evaluation. So again, this basically explains why your project was important and the impact of it. So in your evaluation portion, you want to have a section either written out that includes the assessment and evaluation of the outcome of the project. How did you measure the impact of the project? Did you do audience surveys? Were there letters from visitors, social media comments? Any way that you measured the impact of that project. It probably could even be that you had a survey at the end and you had 85 blue chips that out of, I don't know, 150 or something like that, showing that blue chips were positive and that kind of thing. And then did you meet or exceed your own expectations? So did you meet your target audience? Did you meet your attendance projections? Any other points that show that this project is worthy of an award because it either met or exceeded what you wanted that project to do? So again, the evaluation is just the wrap up, and you have to have these for your grant and funders anyway, so it's just easy to include into your packet. Slide. And the big thing, actually this isn't a big thing, most of them that I read, they only wanted a one-page budget. So the budget portion, again, it's all about the numbers, and keep it to one page. They just want to know that you're being efficient with your funding and that is succeeding and helping you with your award project. So I don't like talking about money, so that was my little slide on money. So yay, next. So additional materials. And again, a lot of these I'm coming from my personal background that I keep forgetting these things, so I'm going to hit a lot of them to remind myself as well. So the big additional materials that they want are photos. Photos of the event, photos of installations, photos of fabrications, just photo, photo, photo. Make these people feel like they were there with you on your project so that they really get an idea of how massive the project was or how impactful it was. You want to make the marketing materials, your advertisements, your flyers, social media posts, postcards, anything that you produced to get the word out about this program or this exhibit or project, you want to keep copies of, and you want to send that into your with your award packet. Again, each organization is going to be different. Sometimes they want it electronically, sometimes they want it in hand, so you'll just have to ask how they want that extra marketing material that are included into the award. Program handouts, did you make a program for it? Include that. Any label copy, you can have pictures, or you can have images or PDFs of what the labels would finally look out printed out, and how you came about that, or what it looks like. Sometimes when you take pictures of your exhibits, your labels don't look really wonderful, so having the label copy there lets them see what exactly the scholarship that was used in putting that exhibit or the program together. So again, just these are some of the additional materials. We're going to go through a couple more, but again, photos, photos, photos is your biggest thing. They make more of an impact. All right, slide. Next thing, depending on what the award is, if it's an exhibit award, you want a floor plan of the exhibit. You want to make sure that they see how things were laid out, what your plan was, and then have pictures to back up, again, what the final outcome was. Some of them want a list of artifacts. What items did you have on loan? What items did you have in your collection already? Any items that you had to purchase? So just the list of artifacts that came with the exhibit. List of consulted resources and a bibliography. So when you're putting this project together, who were you consulting? Was it not saying that you're going to consult Grandpa at the dining room table, but you could. But did you also contact the university or researchers in the field who helped with this project? Because again, all projects are community oriented, and awardees want to see that, because again, it's all about the impact and why this project is important to your institution and your community. Did you make a DVD or a CD of it? Make sure that all the script on the DVD is closed captioned. Send a copy of the script or transcript of what you have in there. So again, you're just trying to have them give them all the information about your exhibit so that they can make a clear determination as to whether it's award worthy or not. Next. Believe me, there's still more stuff depending on which one you did. I'm just going through a smattering of them. Again, each one will have individual stuff for the additional materials that you'll need. But if you're doing a preservation project, you'll need the State Historic Preservation Office letter with the Secretary of Interior standards that were met and have those listed down. You'll need evaluation information. You'll need graphs, charts, how you gathered the information, any other type, you could even send in copies of the evaluations that you sent, what questions were asked, so that they can see what the information you obtained back from the audience. And again, a lot of them want to know that there's accessibility to these exhibits, programs, publications, events, projects, and that it's sustainable. So, and that's if it's applicable to the project. So accessibility and sustainability of the project if applicable. So those are some of the additional materials. Let me see. Oh, I've got one more, I think. Oh, no. So we've gone over the basics. So why you should do these, we've already talked about that. Basically, you want recognition for what you're doing. It's nice to have local recognition, but it's nice for other people outside as well as nationally to know what you're doing, because you could spur someone else in another community from your project to do something similar, and it could jump collaborations. The other thing is that it seems like it's daunting, but you guys can totally do this if you collect everything as you're going through the project. When you get done with your project, not only is your granting stuff and packet done, your award packet will pretty much be done. So you guys, let's do this. Next slide. So go get your award. Again, awards are available on your local, state, and national level. Again, I talked a little bit about Museums Alaska, AASLH, AAM, and there's so many more. Individual organizations have awards as well. And the big thing, don't forget to take pictures of you receiving your awards. So making sure that everyone knows what you've done, and because again, if you receive these awards, people will come asking questions as to how you did things, and it could open up for collaborations and more organizations being amazing from Alaska. Going to some of the AASLH meetings, it was always a little disheartening that none of our Alaska guys put in their applications, and I saw the programs that were being awarded, and I was like, we totally are doing this in the state. So totally, you guys have amazing things that you're doing. Everybody's being awesome, and you need to be awarded for those actions and activities that you're doing. So, okay. I think that's all from me. Next slide is just my contact information. If you have any questions or information, let me know.